Question 10. God's creation of man. Question 10. How did God create man? Answer. God created man male and female, after his own image, in knowledge, righteousness, and holiness, with dominion over the creatures. God created man, he created them male and female. The reason they were made male and female was to help each other and prosper. And God created man in his own image to resemble God. In other words, the human soul was made to resemble him in knowledge, righteousness, and holiness. And he gave him dominion over all living things. 1. Why did God create man and woman? The reason God created men and women was to help each other and proliferate the species. God made Adam from dust and Eve from Adam's rib. The reason is because God had a purpose for the union of Adam and Eve. However, what is clear is that Eve's soul was not created from Adam, but was created directly by God. 2. How are people made up? A person consists of a soul and a body. The soul is a spiritual entity that God breathed into the body. The soul is different from the body in every way. The body is visible. The soul is invisible, the body dies, but the soul does not. 3. What does the image of God mean? God created man in God's image, according to God's likeness. This can be understood as similarity or resemblance to God. Here, the words shape and form are the same thing, and the same content is expressed repeatedly with different words. Ultimately, what this means is that humans were created to resemble God. However, the likeness to the image of God does not mean that the human body resembles God in a visible or external way. It means that the human soul internally resembles God in knowledge, righteousness, and holiness. Therefore, the image of God that humans first possessed had a universal and complete righteousness for the whole person. Knowledge was in his enlightenment and knowledge was in his will. There was justice and holiness in his love. 4. What dominion are humans given? Humans not only control their own emotions, but also delegate the authority to rule over all things. Received. The right to rule over all things, which is the privilege of humans, is not due to humans' own ability, it is an ability given by God. This sovereignty, entrusted to us by the Creator, has eternal authority and is the mission of man. But the right to rule is not an unlimited and merciless right to rule, but the right to manage as a steward under God's providence. However, after humans disobeyed God, many of them disobeyed human rule. Finishing the article. God created humans as men and women to help each other and proliferate the species. And he created us in the image of God to resemble him in knowledge, righteousness, and holiness. In addition, it not only controls one's own emotions, but also delegates the authority to rule over all things. Received. But the right to rule is the right to manage as God's steward.